Lots of texts and emails this morning on the rising cost of petrol at the pumps. According to the AA, more than half of drivers have had to cut back in some way because petrol is above the £1 a litre mark again. Are petrol retailers to blame? Well, in July 2008, crude oil prices reached a record high of $147 a barrel. Now it's around $67 a barrel. That's a 54% drop. In July of last year, prices at the pumps were around $1.19 a litre. At the moment, they're around £1 a litre. That means the price we pay has dropped by just 16%. Of course, there are many other contributing factors and market forces at work here, but on the face of it, is petrol as low as it should be? Joined now by energy expert John Hall and Louise Doherty from petrolprices.com. Good morning to you both. So, explain why oil prices are 54% down and we're only paying 16% less.
We don't put crude oil into our cars, so the price of oil went up in dollar terms by around a six-fold increase. In sterling terms by a 4.5 times increase, so there's a difference there. You also have to bear in mind is there is an international market on petrol, and petrol prices this year alone on the international market have risen by around 10 pence a litre in equivalent terms to us. In the UK, what you have to also bear in mind is 67% is duty and tax.
Yes, but that stays the same no matter what.
It's gone up by 4 pence since December of last year, 6 pence since October the previous year. So, I mean, it has gone up. And as the price of oil goes down, the government steps in and puts the duty up with tax on top. Right.
Louise, we've had, as I said, we've had a lot of texts and emails. In fact, from Amanda saying, I don't know where she's from, but is this a bad thing? We're being encouraged to use our cars less, which is a benefit to our health and the environment. But Cliff in Somerset is saying what lots of people are, which is that, you know, he lives in a small village. They have to drive into that town just to go to the shop. And it's penalising people like that, isn't it?
That's right. I mean, a lot of people don't have the option to cycle to work or to get the bus. And, you know, this survey shows that actually fuel prices or fuel is the last thing people can cut back on because it's not an option. You know, people are cutting back on luxury things.
And when you say luxury things, going out for dinners, going out to the cinema. And what do you say to people who are trying to find a cheaper place to buy petrol? Is there a cheaper place to buy petrol?
There are cheaper places to buy petrol. It's not so much about, you know, a north-south divide or any particular location is cheaper or most expensive. It's more to do with competition between stations. So if there's a station that has lots of other stations in its area, it's likely to lower its price. So that, you know, that's it. You can save around 20 pence per litre, which is a huge, huge amount. You know, that's £30 a month if you search around online for the cheapest fuel.
John, where does it leave the economic recovery?
The worry I think we have now is that we thought the price of oil was going to go down last week, and OPEC has said, well, the recovery is on its way, recession's going to be over by the end of this year. Investors think this is terrific. They're going back into the market and pushing the price of oil up. But I think in terms of when we start looking at sort of petrol prices, what we have to bear in mind is that 2/3 of the petrol that's produced in Europe is exported to America. And we're now moving heavily towards diesel, and we import much of our diesel from places like Russia. So there's a great imbalance in what we do. Of that petrol that goes out to America, an awful lot will also now go to India and to China, where they're picking up on petrol. So in Europe, there's this big, big trend towards diesel, and diesel prices on the wholesale market haven't moved this year.
John Hall, Louise Doherty, thank you very much.